Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up. All the way up. I'm all the way up. I'm all the way up. Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way up.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We've been off for a couple of weeks here, Coach, but we are here to record the final episode of Union Pine Sports Time for this season. Coach, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, Justin. 6-5, senior night win. Everything's good in Viking country. We did have to take a few weeks off. We had a Booster Club golf tournament to take care of and raise some money for our Booster Club. But we're back, and for our final episode, I'm glad you're here with us and glad you're having us here at Time Out.
Yeah, absolutely. And, Coach, we get to end this one on a good note. Like you said, we had a big win on senior night against Western Harnett, and then game before that, we played Harnett Central at home. So 2 home wins to finish out this regular season. I couldn't think of a better way to end it, Coach.
Yeah, we're excited and we're happy with winning the final 2 and going into the offseason with some momentum to take us into the next season. Of course, we want to thank the seniors for paving the way and laying the foundation, and we'll get to talk more about the seniors here in a little bit. But finishing the season with 2 wins and coming off strong with a second place conference finish, we'll take that into the offseason and build off of that.
Can't complain about it at all, Coach. So here we go. On October 27th, your Vikings took on the Harnett Central Trojans at Will Hoyt Stadium. It was an OT thriller there. Ended up with a winning score of 12-6. And, Coach, I think this would be the definition of a defensive battle. By far.
Yes, it was definitely a defensive battle. And, me and their head coach joked about it after the game. He said somebody had to play offense at some point. And so, it was an awesome effort by our defense. And then, our offense had some struggles, faced some struggles with turnovers. But, when it really counted, we get the ball on the 10-yard line in overtime. They found a way to get it in the end zone, so we're happy with that win. And, to go out with a overtime win is a lot of fun. And, you might lose some hair during those games, but I'll take a win any day.
I was going to say, and for the fans, too, that's a little extra free football there for that $7 ticket that you got.
Yeah, I had some parents asking me, and, they didn't even know what was going to happen in overtime. And, it's a possession exchange from the 10-yard line. You get 4 tries to score, and luckily we didn't need to go to the second overtime after that.
Absolutely not. No, defense made a great, stop there on the initial drive, and then offense took over and did what they did. So.
Yes.
So talking about some of the stats here, our offensive effort, we had Roy Board with 266 yards passing, 1 touchdown. And Coach, let's see here, where is he at? There he is, down there. 187 of those 266 passing yards went to one man, and that's Brandon DeLoach. DeLoach on 13 receptions, 187 yards and a touchdown. That's just incredible.
Yeah, Brandon had a great night. 13 receptions. That's a huge number. 187 rushing yards, a receiving touchdown. What you don't have in those receiving stats, Justin, is that rushing touchdown that won the ball game for us in overtime.
That's right.
So Brandon did a great job of putting us in a situation to at least get us a chance to win the ball game there.
That's right. And some of those catches, Coach, he was going after.
Yeah.
Jumping, diving.
He was getting double covered, and he had to make some miraculous catches throughout this game.
And he sure did. And so going back a little bit, we're going to talk about the rushing effort here. A new guy in the backfield, I believe Eberhardt. He had something going on with his ankle. And we got to see a couple of other Vikings take the backfield.
Eberhardt had a little ankle injury, and we got Chandler Barber and Tyreek McCoy back there to split some reps, and they took care of the ball for us and got us down the field when we needed to.
That's right. 10 attempts for Chandler Barber, 10 attempts for Tyreek McCoy as well, so a good split effort there. You talked about Brandon DeLoach with that rushing touchdown there in overtime. And Eberhardt, he got a couple of carries there at the beginning of the game, 7 attempts as well. So, the rushing effort was there. And then we get down to the passing stats. 187 yards go to the man, Mr. Reliable Brandon DeLoach. And you also had 3 other Vikings there with some receptions. Isaiah Hampton, Jaleel Baker, and Justin Eberhardt with 1 out of the backfield there. So, all around pretty solid offensive effort. But then again, that defensive battle was, the turnovers.
The turnovers on offense really hurt us. The stats look great, but we had 5 or 6 turnovers in that game that really cost us some points. I was excited and happy that Jaleel Baker got in there. This was his first game. We pulled him up from the JV, and he had a long catch in there that really put us in good position late in the game. So we were excited for some of our young guys to step up, and it's positive going forward into the next season.
That's right, and I believe, as we keep going through the stats, even when we get to this Western Harnett game, there were some guys that got into the game.
Yes.
And, some different looks that we got to see, Coach, and, I think for next year it's going to be exciting to see these young men continue to grow. So for the defensive effort here, Chandler Barber, Kamal Fairley, Martin Smith, I have them all with 5 registered tackles. Martin Smith got into the backfield twice for 2 sacks. He had 1 interception. 11 of the Vikings there with registered tackles. Coach, once again, the defensive effort comes back. Double-digit Vikings with registered tackles, and it just keeps going.
Anytime you can hold somebody to 6 points, and then in the overtime they get the ball at the 10-yard line, and to keep them out of the end zone, obviously your defense is doing something right, and they did a good job. They executed the game plan almost flawlessly. We gave up an early touchdown, but things happen from time to time. We were excited with our defensive effort and happy with the performance that they put forth in this game.
Absolutely. I've got Hayden Tice down here and Josh Strickland both with the sack as well. And then we had Hayden Smith get into the backfield for a tackle for loss. Can't really complain about that, Coach. That's some great stats there.
Hayden Smith probably played one of the best games of his life.
Yeah.
He actually got to get in this game and play because of an injury. So when he got his chance and he got his number called, he made the most of it.
That's right.
And that's what we keep preaching. We keep preaching next man up. And so if somebody gets hurt, he comes in and makes plays and does a great job for us. And so we were really excited and happy that he got to finish off his senior year with 2 good games.
That's right. Absolutely, Coach. And so for that week, we talk about our Offensive Player of the Week. Mr. Reliable Brandon DeLoach is the timeout offensive player for his efforts. The 187 yards. I just have to keep saying it again. 187 yards and a touchdown, Coach.
187 yards of receiving touchdown, the game-winning rushing touchdown out of a Wildcat formation for us. Brandon did everything that he could to make sure we won that game. And he kind of took over the offensive effort on his own. And we were really proud and excited for Brandon there.
That's right. So timeout, Offensive Player of the Week, Brandon DeLoach. Move over to our Texas Roadhouse Defensive Player of the Week. This is going to be Martin Smith. As I mentioned before, he had 2 sacks and 1 interception there. Coming from that linebacking position, Coach, he was all over the field. All over the field.
Yeah, Martin had 5 tackles, 2 sacks, an interception, had another pass breakup. Martin does a lot of great things for this team, and a lot of the things you don't see out of Martin. Martin is the one every single day that stays, and he's the last person in the locker room because he's sweeping or cleaning up lockers or doing something to make sure that the rest of the team doesn't have to run for having a messy locker room. So Martin does a lot of things for us on and off the field, and Martin's just a great teammate to have, and we're really, really going to miss Martin Smith.
Yeah, definitely a strong one there in that linebacking position, Coach. And so after the Harnett Central, stats there, Coach, you ready to get to some highlights?
Let's show the highlights.
Let's go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, coming back from the highlights there, we're going to talk about this last regular season game, Coach.
Yeah.
Senior night at Will Hoyt Stadium, and as the Vikings took on Western Harnett Eagles. So anything you'd like to say before we jump into stats?
Yeah, great senior night. Anytime you can get a win for their seniors on their, last home game, their last time coming out of the tunnel, their last time on Will Hoyt Stadium.
That's right.
It's a huge, huge night, and we're excited and we're proud of them. We did start a new tradition with our seniors. We call it the senior end zone.
Yep.
They got each paint a square with whatever they wanted in their square. We had some Snapchat names, some
That's
Twitter
right.
names, some numbers, some shout outs to mom. There was a lot of cool things in that end zone that the seniors got to decorate and paint up to make the field theirs
That's right.
for one last time. So I think that was a huge hit with our parents and our players, and we were excited to just send them off with a win.
That's right, Coach. And I believe, something else that was special was when you guys came out of the tunnel, you let all the underclassmen go first, and then, there was a short break.
Yeah.
And I tried to get that crowd into it.
Yeah.
I told them, I said, I know you guys are loud now, but hey, this next crew coming out, you better get loud for these seniors.
That's also something that we will continue to do the last time they get to run out of that tunnel.
That's right.
The underclassmen will go first, and then the seniors will get to come out together as a unit for their last time out of that tunnel, and they really enjoyed that and they loved that.
Oh, yeah, and I could hear the crowd there from the press box, too.
Yeah.
I got the headphones up there, so I don't hear the phasing in between the mic and the. But man, it was drowning it out. I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah.
That crowd was into it. So, the Western Harnett Eagles, your Union Pines Vikings take a 34-6 win over the Western Harnett Eagles. And Coach, if I had to say, if there ever was such a thing as a balanced game, I would think this is probably the definition of a balanced game. 223 passing yards, 220 rushing yards for a total of 443 yards.
The ultimate goal of our offense is to be as balanced as possible.
Yes.
So nobody can, get a read on what you're doing and kind of guess what's coming next. So we did a really, really good job of staying balanced and doing what we had to do to keep getting first downs in this game.
That's right. I was going to say, you probably could have found a play there toward the end, maybe get 3 yards and go ahead and split it even.
Yeah.
But I mean, that's just, talking about the effort there for your guys. Senior night, last home game of the season, last regular season game, just an incredible effort there. We have Roy Board, 11 of 22 passing for 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. The longest one was a 54-yard bomb. And, Coach, we even had, this is a freshman, I believe, that came up and got a couple of snaps with you guys. Ethan McKay, 2 for 3 with his passing.
Yeah, he actually played early in the season for a few snaps on the varsity, had a few completions. This game he threw his first varsity incompletion, so I told him, welcome to the real world.
There you go. Welcome to the big leagues now.
Things happen, but to get some of these young guys in there at the end of this game was awesome because it gets them some experience headed into the offseason.
That's right.
Kind of let them know what they're working for and preparing for the next season. And another good thing about Friday night was that every senior on our team got a chance to get in the game and play and get some quality reps.
That's it
for us.
That's right. And so going into the rushing stats here, we have Justin Eberhardt. He was able to get in there at the beginning of the game.
Yeah.
11 attempts for 72 yards with 2 touchdowns, and I believe there was on that second touchdown he went straight up the middle and re-injured the ankle or retweaked it a little bit.
Justin, in my opinion, and obviously I haven't watched a lot of Union Pines football because I'm not from this area, but Justin, in my opinion, has to be one of the best running backs to come through this program.
Absolutely,
and
Coach.
I was glad that he got to play at least a little bit through this game. And he can always say that his last carry as a Viking was a touchdown run. So we're excited. And, we're happy for Justin, and we look forward to big things from him in the future. And we keep grinding and keep working and keep getting that ankle stronger so that we can prepare for the next step.
That's right. And taking some of that load as well, after Eberhardt went out, we had Tyreek McCoy coming back in. 11 carries for 67 yards. Roy Board there at the QB position, 9 attempts for 45 yards. And then Chandler Barber back there in the backfield for you. This is a guy that's, up until the recent, he's played both sides of the ball. I've seen him on, there in the DBs, and then putting him there in the backfield, and it seems like he does it all.
He does a great job. What was really impressive out of that is he would come off of a big defensive stop, and then he would run straight to the sideline and say, "Coach, I'm good. Give me the ball. Coach, I'm good. Give me the ball." And so, to have that type of attitude and to want to play the game and to want to finish and to want to win. That's awesome to have from a senior. Another positive from Friday night's Tyreek McCoy,
yes,
sophomore,
yep,
running back that is going to have to take over a little bit more,
yeah,
next season. So to get him some positive yards and to get him some really, really tough runs in there on Friday night is going to really help him going into the off season.
Yeah. And so going down into the to the receptions now, we had 6 Vikings with the reception. Brandon DeLoach there again, 3 receptions for 72 yards. We had Isaiah Hampton, Jacob Bobliss, and Jalen Eberhardt all with some receptions. Isaiah Hampton with a touchdown, Jalen Eberhardt with a touchdown, and then we also had J.C. Nicholson and Craig Gibson getting into the stats sheet with a reception as well. So
yes, we spread the ball around pretty well. It's helpful when you can get a little lead and get some guys in there and let them play a little bit and let them get some varsity experience. That was a lot of fun for us. I told JC, who serves primarily as our long snapper, he works at receiver through practices, and that's where he's been for most of his career. But he was talking to me at the beginning of the week and said that he had never had a varsity catch. I said, we're going to make sure that happens,
That's
JC.
right.
And so actually the last snap of the game, JC finished his high school career with his last play as a reception. So congratulations to those seniors, especially JC.
That's right. Congratulations there, JC. And getting down into the defensive effort here, this guy, Coach, I think some big things coming for this guy here. Number 45, Kamal Fairley, 9 tackles, forcing 1 fumble.
Yeah.
And going back into the stats for all the Vikings, 13 Vikings now with a registered tackle. Once again, I think, every single game, I think we had double-digit Vikings with a registered tackle. That's really
Kamal
positive.
Fairley played his last game as a Viking. Unfortunately, I would do anything that I could to get him back for one more season.
Redshirted? Is there such thing as a redshirt senior coach?
That'd be nice.
Dang.
Kamal Fairley is just a hard worker, plays the game with extreme passion, loves the game of football, loves to tackle. Kamal had a big night on senior night, and he was going to do whatever it took to make sure that his team got a win this week, and he did a great job for us.
That's right. And this secondary here, Coach, these DBs for you. Sean Long, Joseph Smith, Chandler Barber all registering an interception, and Schmitty there in the middle with the pick 6 right there to start the game off.
To start the game.
Took it all back.
That's a heck of a way to start a ball game.
Heck yes.
We got the ball first and unfortunately sputtered out on offense. And so Smitty looked at me as he's taking the field. He said, "We got you, Coach." And I guess it was 2 or 3 plays later, he takes it to the house and he comes back and he says, "I told you."
That's right.
So senior night for Smitty was awesome. So we're proud of him and that defensive backfield for all their efforts on Friday night.
That's right. And also in that linebacking core there, guy we talked about last game, Martin Smith, he also forced a fumble as well.
Yeah.
And, Coach, it was really incredible to watch this defense all year long. I'd heard from, was it Coach Simmons? This is a pretty young unit.
Yeah.
Had a lot of new players. Only had a couple of returning seniors there as the core. But worked extremely hard throughout the season to get, to put up stats like this toward the end.
The entire team, offense, defense, special teams included. We really grew from the start of the season to the finish. I told those seniors coming into a coaching change their senior year can be difficult, and I told them I know that because my senior year of college I went through that, and I know what it can be like. But they really all accepted me and bought into the process and really pushed and kept grinding. And when things got bad, they came back to work on Monday and did whatever they could to change it. And when things were going good, they did whatever they could to hold on to that. So I'm really, really proud of this group. Seniors did a great job for us. They will be remembered as one of Union Pine's winningest classes in history. And, this team finishing off with a winning record with a very, very young group that has a lot of positives to look forward to in the future.
That's right, Coach. That's a lot of good things to hear and to talk about going into the off season. So for this game here against Western Harnett, our offensive player of the game, this is Andrew Butner. He's on that offensive line there for you, Coach.
Andrew Butner did a great job. He had numerous pancakes, couldn't even count them all. But the play that really got me was we were going to call a screen to the right side. Andrew typically plays the left tackle position for us. And in the huddle, coming out of a timeout, I said, Andrew, go to the right side and block this guy on the corner for me. And he said, okay, coach. And he flips to the right side for the first time all season long. And as he hits this guy, he lifts him and pushes him through the sideline. And I go to try to catch him with my hand because they're coming through our sideline with the block. Slices my hand open, got cut up.
Oh,
but
goodness, man.
It's whatever. It's part of the game.
That's right.
But Andrew Butner did a great job Friday night and all season long of being a leader up front for us.
That's right. And so there you go, your timeout, Offensive Player of the Week. One of the big guys up front there, Andrew Butner. Now we move into our Texas Roadhouse Defensive Player of the game, and this is going to be Schmitty there from that safety position.
Yeah, Joseph Smith did a great job for us on senior night. Had that big pick six, made tackles all night long.
Absolutely.
For a defensive effort that only allowed 6 points. So Schmitty there at the safety position is our Texas Roadhouse Defensive Player of the Week.
All right. And so finishing up with the stats there for the Western Harnett game, coaches, I believe it's time to get into some highlights now.
Yes, let's show the highlights.
All right. So coming back from the Western Harnett highlights, Coach, you know, it's kind of bittersweet. It's a good episode to end on, but then again, it's hard to believe that the end of the season's already here for us.
Yeah.
So
it is a bittersweet episode. You know, finishing the season 6-5, second place conference finish.
Right.
It's a great first year for me. I'm happy with where we're at. Obviously, would have like to make the playoffs, but we're not going to make excuses and not going to blame any systems.
No. We had a good little off-screen conversation about that.
So we're gonna, end of the day, we tell our kids not to make excuses. So we're not gonna make excuses about that. And at the end of the day, if we want to make the playoffs, we just simply got to win more.
That's right.
So that's gonna be the mindset going into the off season. But finishing 6-5, 3-2 in the conference, a second place finish. I am extremely proud of this team and the effort and the fight that they put in all year long.
Absolutely, Coach. Got a lot of really good wins in there.
Yes.
And as you alluded to, this is your first year here at Union Pines. Coach, I believe you had a great group of kids coming in that you got to work with. As you said, the growth of the team, I could see it throughout the games.
I'm absolutely blessed to have that group of seniors. I'll always remember my first group of seniors, and those guys really bought into what I was trying to tell them from the very first meeting when I gave them the process.
That's right.
They fell in love with the process and they kept grinding it. And so to this senior class, I want to tell you I appreciate you and I love you, and if I can do anything for you in the future, just let me know.
That's right, and I'll echo the words of Coach Quinn here. I've got pretty close to that senior class as well. I had a lot of those guys in my classes. All around great crew of kids, man. I hate to see them go. Seniors, we wish you the best, with your future endeavors. And as Coach Quinn said, if there's anything that both of us could ever do for you, we're here at Union Pines, and you'll always have a place here for you. So. Coach, is there anything else you'd like to say, or we'll go ahead and close this thing out with some thank yous and some sponsors?
We can get ready to close this thing out because if I speak any more on these seniors, I might have to go get some napkins.
Go shed a tear. Yeah. I know. So we'd like to thank Time Out Sports Grill for hosting us here. It's a great little spot, man. We're over here tucked away in the corner, and but we get to put this backdrop up here behind us. Got a little bit of light, natural light coming in through the windows there.
It's awesome. And, Time Out's been so gracious all year long of hosting us and setting us up and, feeding our offensive player of the week. I mean, it's been awesome, and we look forward to working more with Time Out in the future.
Absolutely, Coach. Texas Roadhouse, I'd like to thank them for sponsoring our Defensive Player of the Week. This Buffalo Wild Wings VIP tent, Coach, the first year of the VIP tent, how did it go for you?
Yeah, we did good. I was very, very impressed with the support from the Buffalo Wild Wings VIP tent. We essentially covered all of our pregame meals for our players, so that's what it was designed for, and we appreciate everyone's support for people that purchased our Buffalo Wild Wings VIP tent. And thank you to Buffalo Wild Wings for donating 100 delicious wings for us.
Absolutely, man. Those wings, man, they're something else. I'd like to give a shout out to Timothy Hale Photography. Coach, he was there at every game, giving the guys some great shots of the action, and the parents and the Viking community.
Yeah, Mr. Hale does a great job. He is truly part of our family.
Yes, he
spoke to our senior class before the game on Friday night because this is a class that he's followed from their freshman year all into their senior year. So he started 4 years ago. So it was kind of a bittersweet moment for Mr. Hale as well. So we appreciate him being there and supporting our program and getting us some good action shots of our kids.
And last but certainly not least, we'd like to thank the Viking family, from our administrators and faculty at Union Pines High School to the parents and the supporters of Viking football, that are checking this out and watching Union Pines Sports Time. We can't thank you guys enough. Coach, this was a great season. This has been a lot of fun. When you told me about this idea at the beginning of the season and putting the inception in for it and what you expected from it, I think we covered what you had planned to cover.
We did a great job of filling in, the Viking family and letting them know what's going on inside of our program. We had people all the way from Chicago watching us every week.
Cow,
people in South Carolina watching us every week. So, I appreciate everyone's support literally across the nation.
That's right.
For supporting Union Pines football. So, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your support.
Yeah. It's kind of humbling, too. I was out in town last week and picking up some pizza there from Papa John's, and one of the guys was walking out, and he looked at me. He said, "Hey," he said, "are you the voice of Viking football?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "I watch your show all the time."
Big timer, man. You got to start giving out autographs.
I know. So, thank you guys so very much, for your support and everything. Union Pines, especially this Viking football team, supporting Coach Quinn here. I know that he really appreciates you guys and loves you guys, and I don't think there's anything else I can say, Coach.
That's it. I kind of don't want to get off the air because it's been so fun doing this. We'll probably do an episode or two during spring ball just to let them know what's going on, and then
we can do that.
We'll see you again next August.
That's right. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is Union Pine Sports Time, cutting off for the 2017 football season, but we'll see you next year.
Thank you, and go Vikings.
This is exclusive.
Nothing can stop me, I'm all the way up.